So last year, Nokia gave us the T20 tablet, a proper tough and pleasantly affordable Android machine. And now there's another option, the Nokia T10, a more compact 8-inch tablet that should still hopefully satisfy for the budget happy price of just 149 quid or 159 euros, once again packing a stock Android experience with 3 years of security updates. So is 8 inches really enough? Well, let's dive on into this box, whip out the Nokia T10 and take you on a full-on tour to find out. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So question one is, what do we actually get in this box? Well, not very much. You've got one Nokia T10 tablet, of course, a dinky wee power adapter, USB cable, oh yeah. And that is it. Very simple, straightforward stuff. Right, come on, do the little jingle. Oh, love it. So say hello to the Nokia T10, which at just 8 inches is definitely quite dinky versus the old 10-inch T20. And in fact, it's not that much bigger than a lot of bloody smartphones these days. Although, as you can see, there are pretty chunky bezels surrounding that 8-inch display, especially above and below. So that certainly adds a bit of girth, but you can still just about wrap your hands around it, even if you've got teeny wee goblin mitts like myself. The Nokia T10 is quite a chunky wee morpho, as you can see there. It's 9mm thick, but doesn't weigh too much, 375 grams, so even my pathetic little kindergartner biceps could just about manage it. And the T10 is constructed of plastic, of course, as you'd expect from a budget-friendly tablet. You've got plastic edging and then around back a plastic arse. And it is actually textured to help with the grip. Pretty basic design, as you can see there, just a tiny bit of Nokia branding stuck away in the center there. Dinky little camera housed in that corner. And as for your color options, well, you're looking at it. Ocean blue is your only shout. If you're clutching the Nokia T10 in portrait mode like so, you've got your Type-C USB port down below. The tray that houses the SIM card and the microSD memory card is over here on the left. You've got a volume rocker over here on the right, wedged up right up towards the top end. And then on the very top, you've got a headphone jack and you've also got your power button. So yeah, if you want something that's bigger than your smartphone, but still comfortable to clutch for browsing the web, reading ebooks, watching some videos, whatever, this looks like it could do the job. So now let's get really saucy and chat software, and the Nokia T10, like all Nokia branded devices, sports a lovely stock version of Android. Manufacturer HMD Global hasn't really tampered with it at all, so it's a very similar experience to what you would get with the likes of the Pixel smartphones. Usual customizable toggles in the control center. If we dive on into the settings menu, all the same features you know and love, including all the great privacy stuff. Basically everything apart from the Pixel exclusive features. But that said, the Nokia T10 has a couple of features of its own that you won't find on the likes of the Pixel phones, including the face unlock, which seems pretty reliable. Unfortunately, you do also get some crapware chucked on here. The likes of Amazon Shopping, ExpressVPN, not much thankfully, and you can just quickly and easily uninstall it, so no biggie. And the good news is that even though this is a budget tablet, HMD is offering 2 years of OS updates. That means it'll get the update to Android 13 and then Android 14 beyond that, and also 3 years of monthly security updates. So this thing ain't going to be obsolete after just a few months and chucked in the bin. Unfortunately, the Nokia T10 does serve up a pretty pathetic amount of internal storage, just 32 gigs in all, which as you can see, half of that's already used up. But the good news is that the T10 does at least support microSD memory cards of up to 512 gigabytes in size. So just stick one of those bad boys in this little slot and you're good to go. And if you paid a little bit extra and got the 4G LTE version of the Nokia T10, you'll be able to stick your SIM card in there. And it's pretty impressive that such a budget-friendly tablet would offer an LTE option for staying connected wherever you happen to bugger off to, but otherwise the Wi-Fi connectivity is perfectly reliable. So let's have a gander at the camera tech, and around the front here of the Nokia T10 you've got yourself a basic 2 megapixel cam. It's not exactly fantastic picture quality from this thing. If the lighting isn't very good, then of course you'll end up with a grainy, noisy image like this. But you know what, the audio pickup's absolutely fine, and this will definitely do the job just for a bit of Skyping or Zooming or something like that. And you know, it'll just about cut it for those fantastic LinkedIn profile pics. And then around on the opposite end of the Nokia T10, you've got yourself an 8 megapixel rear camera with autofocus, which I guess is perfect for all you dum-dums who like to take photos with a tablet. Now, for you media fans, what you've got here is an 8-inch IPS screen, and it is pretty basic stuff, it has to be said. The viewing angles aren't exactly fantastic. As soon as you tilt it away from your face, that image does start to darken. This is the T10's display boosted to the maximum brightness, absolutely fine for indoors use, although if you are trying to watch something that's a little bit gloomier outdoors, you'll probably struggle to see what's going on. The resolution is 1280 by 800, so not the sharpest screen around either, especially if you decide to go full screen for your video. But while it is lacking in finer detail, it's absolutely fine for just kicking back with some Netflix, some YouTube, or whatever. And that screen's certainly absolutely fine for web browsing or any other tasks that you want to do as well. As for the audio, well, you've actually got a stereo speaker set up here on the Nokia T10, so let's see if it's any good. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers. Now the Nokia 5710. So yeah, those speakers certainly not as powerful as I thought they might be. Even on the top volume, it's fairly weak output. But the good news is that at least it's not terribly tinny or anything, generally a step up from your average smartphone speakers. But of course the good news is if you want to use a pair of headphones, no worries, you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack. Otherwise, the Nokia T10 also supports Bluetooth 5.0. And that streaming support seems perfectly reliable. Now performance here on the Nokia T10 tablet is provided by a basic Unisoc Tiger rarr T606 backed by 3 gigs of RAM. And if that name is ringing any bells for you, that's probably because HMD already used the Tiger rarr T606 in the G11 and the G21 smartphones. And this is an entry-level platform, as any benchmarking fans will be able to tell from these Geekbench scores right here. And occasionally, yes, the Nokia T10 may not be quite as responsive as you would like, may take a little while for an app to load up and such forth. But again, it's absolutely fine for your everyday shenanigans, your web browsing, your media streaming, etc. And yeah, if you absolutely must, you can do a bit of light gaming on the Nokia T10. And I am talking light, the likes of Call of Duty and PUBG on the lowest graphic settings will run adequately. The touchscreen is just about responsive enough for these fast-paced action games, but clutching a tablet like this while gaming, not the most comfortable, so use a game controller if you can. In my Call of Duty session, the frame rate was perfectly playable, if not exactly silky smooth, and I did actually manage to kill some people, huzzah! But yeah, overall, I'd say maybe stick to the simpler, lighter titles, bit of Wordle, maybe. As for the battery tech, well, it's a 5100 mAh capacity cell stuffed inside of the Nokia T10, considerably smaller than the 8000 mAh effort in the T20, but still more than good enough to see through a full day of media streaming, web browser messaging, all that good stuff. It'll certainly be a good one for taking on road trips, keep the kiddies amused in the back seat while you're actually trying to concentrate on the bloody road. And then when it does need a refill, just bung in a Type-C USB charger, job done. And that right there, my lovelies, in a delightful little nutshell, is the Nokia T10 tablet. As I say, available right now or very, very shortly indeed for 159 quid direct from Nokia. But what do you guys reckon? Are you tempted by the Nokia T10? Certainly if you want a more compact, portable device that's easy to bung in your bag and lug around anywhere you want, you don't mind the fact that it's got quite an entry-level display and also performance, then it'll certainly do the job. Around this sort of price, your only real alternatives are the likes of the Amazon Fire tablets, and of course those are best suited to anyone who actually uses a lot of Amazon services like the Prime Video, for instance. Anyway, enough of me banging on. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy great rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.